What's up guys, Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and today we're taking a look at the Axiom Fission Rhythm. Let's get to it. Before we get to the video, please click that like button if you're enjoying the content. If you find yourself coming back often, make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell. It really helps me out, and I try to post videos at least once a week. As always, thank you all for the support. So the rhythm is barely a year old, but it's already made a big splash in the MVP community. It first debuted in the 2022 Circuit Challenge Pack as the driver, and shortly after the completion of the challenges, it released in stock, which is a really quick turnaround for a disc in a challenge pack like that. However, between those two releases, MVP did have to tweak the mold a bit to correct some issues. So the turn on the disc changed from a -3 disc to a -2 turn. So some people prefer the flippier circuit challenge. I understand why. It's a great disc right off the bat. I don't mind the -2 version just because, I just put it in my practice bag, beat it in a bit. And I believe that a seasoned disc beat in flies better than a new understable disc. So just takes some work to get to where I want it, but still love the rhythm. And now it's getting the Fission treatment, which is great. I'm a Fission fanatic. It's my favorite plastic. So to have a fairway driver I lean on so heavily offered in Fission, it's a really good time for me. So the flight numbers for the Fission Rhythm are speed of 7, glide of 5, turn of -2, and a fade of 1. So flight numbers did not change with the Fission treatment. However, looking at this disc side by side with some of its predecessors, I do see some difference here. So let's take a look at those side by sides. All right, taking our first look here. On the left, we have the 2022 Circuit Rhythm compared to the Fission Rhythm on the right. And this is actually very interesting to me. You'll notice the parting line and the nose of the Fission Rhythm is lower than the Circuit release. However, from my experience throwing it so far, I have not found it to be more understable than the Circuit Rhythm. The only characteristic I can point out, it's kind of hard, it's hard to tell in this picture, I could have pulled it back a little bit. The Fission Rhythm does have a good amount of dome on it. The Circuit Rhythm is pretty flat top. It has a little bit, it comes off the wing a bit, but it kind of plateaus. The Fission Rhythm keeps going up and has a nice little dome on it. So I'm wondering if that dome is adding some stability to it, making up for that lower nose. But yes, when I saw this, I was surprised by the fact the Fission Rhythm had a lower nose, but doesn't fly as understable. And up next, we have the stock release of the Neutron Rhythm. On the left, it's actually a Madison Walker Tour Series up against the Fission Rhythm. And this jive, the nose of the Neutron Rhythm is above the Fission Rhythm, and I've definitely sensed that stability difference there. Neutron Rhythm is a lot more stable compared to the Fission Rhythm. And I'm also seeing, too, the nose of the Fission Rhythm. I don't know if my playing tricks on me or what, but it kind of looks like it's drooping down a little bit. That was a characteristic of like old MVP stuff where the nose would kind of droop down a little bit, add a little more extra understability where more air passes over the top of the disc versus the bottom. Whereas the Neutron Rhythm just seems pretty like stiff, if you will, or firm. The nose just kind of goes straight out, doesn't really have much droop to it. So there's just some characteristics I noticed. All right, now it's time to see how the Fission Rhythm flies. Some things to consider before watching these throws. First off, again, I'm working with the tailwind right to left, so annies were a little tricky. I actually go to the backhand roller with this disc, and it gets down very easily. Unfortunately, the grass is just very thick, so it's not the best rolling conditions, but Fission Rhythm could definitely serve as a great roller disc for you. Also, again, apologies. I filmed this at the tail end of the Canadian wildfires, so I am throwing actually a gray rim disc into a gray sky, so tracking was a bit hard. I did my best to really zoom in there, give you guys the best idea of the flight I could. So sorry about that one. Can't help natural disasters. And finally, the weight on the disc is a 170 gram. So I prefer to throw like 160 to 170, so we're kind of at my top end for Fission discs. But with that being said, let's take a look and see how it flies. All right, so normally we'd be cutting back to me holding the disc right here and telling you how great it is. It's in my bag already, and that bag is in the car right now. I love this. I love this Fission Rhythm. It is such a great understable fairway driver. I think the flight numbers are a little off. I'd give it like a negative 2.5 turn. It's not as understable as a circuit rhythm, but it's definitely not the stock Neutron. So I am really enjoying it. Just the distance I have been able to unlock on this thing for a 7 speed is crazy. Like 350 is a breeze. I actually, unfortunately, rashed it this past weekend when I threw it about 40 feet further than I thought possible, and ended up on top of a pavilion with like shingles, and they just chewed up the side of the disc a little bit. My bad, but I hit that thing going fast. It might have gone 380 at least. Yeah, it was a really great flight. Good accent. It was one of those like, wow, that's nowhere near the basket, but cool shots. So yeah, again, thank you to MVP for giving me my favorite disc in Fission. When they hit stores, I believe it's June 28th is going to be the release for these for all your favorite retailers. I will be grabbing many. If you're going to be shopping at Foundation Disc Off, please use my link in the description below. Using that one directly supports me, and I really appreciate all the help you guys give me using that. So yeah, it's in my backup bag, and I have a little stock up of the circuit rhythms for if I need like an immediate flippy disc, and now I have some beat up Neutron stock release as well. But I feel like having the Fission disc is gonna beat up faster and help get me to that flippy like negative 3 turn a lot faster. And again, in my favorite plastic, I just love how grippy it is. This the Fission releases from MVP have been on point. It's been a struggle for a few years, but I feel like with the current state of Fission, you just gotta throw it for like a week or two and just kind of like get some dirt on it, beat the finish off it a little bit, and you get a really good grippy, gummy, disc. And I love just having that reliability in my fairway drivers. So again, thank you to MVP for sending me this disc. That's been my review of the Fission Rhythm, guys. If you have any questions for me, reach out. I'll do my best to answer them. Take care. Thank you to my sponsors. For all your disc off needs, check out Phoenix Discs and Foundation Disc Off.